All right, now we're recording. Welcome to our team call. So, and then just a couple other things that we wanted to touch on that we think will really help either launch your business or just get it going and stuff for the next couple of weeks as a team. So, Michelle, do you want to take the first one away?
Yeah, so we, oh, did I just shut you guys? No, I didn't. Okay. One of the first things that we generally talk about when we're talking about new coaches. So a couple of things. One is that we, on a monthly basis, start new coach trainings. So we as a team have that resource available, but aside from what we have, we always have access to the team information training website. So on a bi-monthly basis, you have the opportunity to add new coaches to a training that we do, a 7-day training that we do. Or if the timing of that isn't good and people are really sort of motivated and ready and wanting to run, you always have the opportunity to put them right into the Team Inspiration website so they can go through a series of trainings that Tara did. Don't be afraid to put people in both. Don't be afraid to encourage them to do both. Will some of the information be repetitive? Absolutely. But just like we are coming back to the basics with you guys, it is never a bad thing to be reminded of the basics. Even, 2.5, 3 years later, I think even Sarah and I benefit from sort of pulling back and restarting and sort of reminding ourselves of all of the specific things that need to be done when you're a new coach just starting out.
And go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say the Inspiration site has way more than just the 7-day training. It goes into everything. It's a lot more elaborate, so you could move on to like more advanced rank training or deeper social media training, that kind of thing, if you wanted to. It's all right there at your fingertips.
Yeah, so it'll start off with like new coach training, which is great. That gives you all the basics. But then once somebody has gone through that and they're of the understanding that, we feel that moving to Emerald Coach is super important, and to do that quick, there's a push to Emerald training. And then once somebody has done that, there's a push to Diamond training. So it basically is a series of building blocks for new coaches so that they're getting the basics in the basics coach training. But once they have that information, you need to keep building, you need to keep learning, you need to understand what's the next level, what am I supposed to do to get to that point, and what's kind of the important information that comes along with wanting to move to that next rank. Because what you're thinking about and focusing on when you're brand new coach, while it's the same later on, you need to have sort of a different library of knowledge to help your new coaches. So one of the things that we highly encourage coaches to do who are bringing on new coaches is to create sort of an about me form. And we have templates for that we can share. And you send that to anybody who's interested in the coaching opportunity, because what it's going to do is it's going to be a series of questions that new person or that new coach is going to have to answer. And it's going to tell you, where this person is at. What is it that they're wanting out of this? Are they doing this just for the discount, or are they wanting to set themselves up for a business opportunity? This is especially helpful if it's somebody who is not necessarily in your warm market, if it's somebody who is in your cold market, who either was a free referral for you, or somebody who has come to you off of Instagram or your like page, or just somebody who you don't really know, so you don't have a real good sense of where they are or what they want to do with this business, the About Me form kind of gives you a whole series of information that then allows you to have really nice in-depth conversations with them about what their goals are. New coach checklist. This is something that is in the Inspiration training. Do you have
No, it's kind of something new that we just came across, at least the one I saw.
Okay.
So I was kind of revamping it to fit us.
Okay.
So I can definitely post that, but it's a nice thing to have because it was kind of giving them a checklist to go through before they do a one-on-one call with you. So you're not wasting your time with somebody who's not going to build a business or do a one-on-one call.
Yeah, it's nice to kind of know, or it's nice for new coaches to go into a get started right call with you, or that kind of first one-on-one call with you, having sort of a sense of the direction of the conversation is going to go. You know, we like to be set up when we're talking to people and presenting the business and having conversations with new coaches, but it's also nice for them to come into the conversations prepared. So I think any of us who go into conversations blind, it is a little unnerving to not know exactly like, well, what are we going to talk about? What should I be prepared with? So a new coach checklist will set them up for that call so that they come in prepared so that you can make the most of your time. And, you know, if they have specific questions, that new coach checklist will help to sort of foster that list of questions for them. One-on-one call, you know, I think one of the things that's super important with new coaches and with new challengers is for them to understand, and for you as their sort of mentor to understand what their why is. I think often with our challengers we see this where their whys can be very broad, and a lot of times we have to help them to kind of hone in what their focus and their goals are. And it's the same with new coaches. You know, what is driving them to want to create this business for themselves? Is it that they're unhappy in their full-time job? Is it that they're struggling to make ends meet? Is it that they want to create financial freedom for their family? So working to sort of understand what their why is going to help you as their sponsor coach connect with them. And when they are struggling, or if they get to a point where they're struggling, it then allows you to kind of connect them back to, you know, what brought them to the business opportunity in the first place, and sort of help to re-spark that fire that was in them when they first took off. And then having them understand what Success Starters is. So Success Starters is a great way for people to kick off their business. And with Success Starters, you have basically 3 months, but it has to be 2 months in succession to hit Success Club. And what that does is it the sort of incentive behind that is that you get a free ticket to Summit. So if somebody joins in, say, April, if they hit Success Club in April, they have to hit Success Club in May to be a Success Starter. If they don't hit it in April, they can hit it in May and then have May and June. So, you know, encouraging your new coaches to hit the ground running and hit Success Club in those first couple months that they're a coach is going to drive them and motivate them to focus on Success Club, to focus on their customers, and drive them to be successful coaches. I think there's probably a statistic out there as to how many Success Starters then go on to create notable businesses for themselves. If people are not in tune with what Success Club is and don't have an understanding of that from the get-go of their business, it's going to be much harder for them to kind of gain that momentum and that fire to go on. Not that it's impossible. There certainly have been loads of people who started off slow or not fully invested in the coaching opportunity as a business. So it's not impossible, but for some of you to join the business and hit Success Club in those first couple months, for sure kind of lights a fire and hopefully motivates them to continue on. running strong. Any questions on kicking off new coaches? Anne-Marie, I know this was sort of your question that you had brought to the table. Is that helpful?
Yeah, definitely. It's been very helpful. Thank you.
Yeah. I don't know about Sarah. I know for myself and any of the other coaches who are on the call that have business coaches underneath them are free to jump in. I always find that like there's certain information I think is super important for coaches to have right off the bat. But then I like to work closely with new coaches as things come up, because there's a lot of information out there. There's a lot of information that goes into running this business. And I feel like if you give it all up front, when it's not going to be in play quite yet, it can be super overwhelming for people. And so like Anne-Marie, you've been really good about coming to me with questions as things are coming up for you, which I think is, you know, unless it's like the basics, that's just the way it's sort of, and this is just how I think I'm comfortable communicating information to help your coaches, because I feel like there's so much information. There's so many different scenarios and so many different things that can happen. Sometimes it can be really overwhelming if you're trying to teach new coaches all of these things that you've sort of experienced, whether or not they're experiencing them. So I think there's definitely a very, you know, direct list of things that are basics, the power hour and the 4 vital behaviors and understanding personal development. Like those things are stuff that every single coach has to know right off the bat. But then I think there's a lot of other things, little nuances that come along as coaches are talking to new customers or talking to new coaches that, you know, are just easier to sort of address as they happen, versus trying to give, you know, loads of information right off the bat and coaches just being like, okay, like, and that maybe never even encountering that situation, you know?
It's overwhelming as it is.
Right, for sure.
Okay. You mentioned Summit, right? The free ticket.
I did.
Okay.
Briefly, but if you want to say anything else about it.
I was just thinking that instead. Oh, shoot. Okay, so a like page. I know somebody asked about that. And Michelle, you can interject with your thoughts, but my thoughts on a like page is if you're not willing to put money into it, I wouldn't do it yet. The way Facebook works is you're not going to get any traction on it without boosting and doing ads and that kind of stuff. Instagram is an awesome way to build your business for free, and it takes a little bit of work, but it's a lot easier than using a like page, especially in the beginning. Just using your personal profile and Instagram is awesome. So that's kind of my thoughts about that. But if you've been a coach for 6 months, a year, and you're ready to do that, then that's great. You know what I mean? Like launch your like page, use that. And there is training for setting up an actual like page and everything you should have on it to help you.
Yeah, one of the things I would just say about it is that like pages are great because you can boost ads and all of that. The problem is that in order for a load of people to see your stuff, you have to boost things. You know, one of the things I'll just tell you about my personal experience is that I can post something on my like page and you can actually see how many people have viewed it. And, you know, I can post something and depending on the time of day, depending on the traffic on Facebook, which I obviously don't know, my light, sorry. You know, 5 people can see my post, 15 people can see my post, and then I can post something else at a different time of day and 800 people can see my post. So it's really hard to gauge traffic on a like page. It's really, really tricky, and there's so much information out there, but in order to gain real traction with a like page, you have to be willing to invest money. And if you're willing to do that, that's fine. But to Sarah's point, using your personal page to sort of market what you're doing. You have to be careful about how much business you do on your personal page, but if you want to share your story, if you want to share what you're doing, that's totally fine, and that's free. And then to Sarah's point, using Instagram is another opportunity to gain followers. You can, target markets that are applicable to you, and that's a cold market that you can eventually build into a warm market, work up a relationship with them on Instagram, and eventually migrate them over to Facebook so that you can expand your relationship with them and have them continue to see, obviously, that you're a real person. But like pages, I think, have sort of lost some of their flair in that it is really, really hard. It takes a lot of work to understand how like pages work, how to create target markets, and then how much money you actually have to invest in the like page in order to have your stuff actually be seen by your target market.
Or get a return on it.
Right. A lot of work.
That's speaking from Michelle and I both spending lots of money and not getting anything back on it.
Yeah.
Apps.
This is a good question. I'm glad somebody asked. I think it was Anne-Marie asked about apps.
I personally, I love WordSwag. I love Rona, and we can both post these in our team pages. Photofy, Canva, the Pick Play Post, and then I don't know if you guys know, the Beachbody has an app called BB Links where it gives you links to send out to customers with your coach ID at the end. So you don't have to, it just makes getting somebody started much easier. If you don't use the mobile enroller, you can use the link. And then Michelle, I don't know about the other two.
Perfect 365 is just an app that allows you to smooth some skin. Don't go crazy with the skin smoothing application. But I use it sometimes to, if I take a picture in the morning, you guys, it is not, like I'm pretty raw. Like sometimes my under eye bags are just horrifying. So sometimes I'll just smooth out my bags a little bit, maybe brighten my eyes just a little bit, just to make the picture a little bit more attractive. I don't go crazy. I don't like enhance my features necessarily or anything, but sometimes we all just need a little bit of a touch up. In my morning pictures, I have a tendency to want to just get those bags out just a little bit. I'm trying to attract following and customers, and I don't want to scare anybody. But you can go completely overboard, and I highly suggest that you play with it and don't go overboard. And then Live Collage is just a way that I put two pictures side by side. So I use WordSwag as well. I love that for writing on the pictures. Mm-hmm. Photofy has my favorite filter. And then, yeah, I'm not real familiar with Rona or Canva. So I don't know those very well, but Pick Play Post I also use
for videos
and videos. Yep. And if you don't have the mobile enrollment app on your phone, I don't know if I think Anne-Marie, we talked about this. I think it's only for iPhone. Does anybody have an Android?
I didn't know there was an app.
The mobile enrollment app.
I just go to the website. Like I have it saved in my websites.
Oh, okay. Maybe that's what I have too. I just don't know it. But you can actually upload somebody's information, their name, their first name, their last name, email address, and what it is that they want to order, 21-day fix with chocolate Shakeology, and send them a link. They click that link from their email, and it takes them right to the checkout page. So it makes it super, super easy. The guesswork is out of it for them. Sometimes if you go into the shopping cart, it's a little bit tough to navigate. If you have somebody who is somebody else's customer and they want to enroll as a coach, the mobile enrollment app allows you to do that without having to switch to you as their sponsor coach ahead of time. So that kind of takes a nice step out and allows you to make that switch without having to go through the whole process with customer service and stuff. Maybe it is, I just have it saved as a website.
I'm going to screen share for a minute.
Mine looks like an app.
Mine is definitely on the web. In my Safari, like it's just an open web page.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, so probably won't be able to see. Okay. All right.
So the follow-ups, I made a Google document and I will give it to Michelle to put in her team page and I'll post it in our team page. But it's a good amount. Somebody asked follow-up strategies for not right now customers. So if somebody has come to you or you've talked to them and they're not ready, they want to wait a little bit, how do you approach them back? That's what I'm assuming that question is. So there are a number of different ways that I have used, other people have used, just so it's not weird and awkward. That
make it sound like you. Like
yeah, like don't copy and paste. Definitely change it to be something that you would say. But sometimes it's kind of like I know in the beginning I was like, I don't know what to say besides, are you ready? Ready to go? Come on. And sometimes I might just say that. And then if somebody ignores you also or doesn't answer your message, maybe you're in the middle of a conversation and you sent them videos and then you haven't heard back from them or something. There's these follow-ups, the first, the second, and the third. It just kind of gives you an opportunity to reach back out and be professional. So I liked those too.
Yeah, if there's any conversations that you're struggling with, definitely post in their team pages, like what is that conversation that you're struggling with? Because I can probably guarantee you that we have a script somewhere that you can use to sort of spark an idea of a response for you.
Or we can help you.
Yeah, Sarah and I bounce back and forth all the time. Like I'll take a screenshot or she'll take a screenshot and be like, how would you respond to this? Like, and we just kind of bounce back and forth. And I know that anytime she gives me something to say, it almost sounds exactly like something I would say. So I know I just need to tweak it a little bit and then send it off. With any of the scripts that we have, though, I mean, if you're not a person who would say, hey, pretty mama, don't write that. Like, don't type those words because that's not
right. I'm not a typical hey girl.
Me too.
Right. And use voice messenger. If you are not comfortable using voice messenger, practice with one of us because it is so fast and it just shows that the person on the other end that you're a real person. They can hear your voice. They can hear your excitement. They can sort of feed off of your excitement about the All Access Challenge Pack or Shakeology or what it's done for you. That comes across so much better in the inflection of your voice, versus just typed out words. Yeah, Shakeology is great. I drink it every morning for breakfast. Versus, oh my gosh, I drink Shakeology every morning for breakfast. It's super easy. I blend it up real quick, takes me 30 seconds, and then I'm out the door. Like that just to me, would have a greater impact than, yeah, I blend it up and I walk out the door. So don't be afraid of using the voice messenger. You don't have the opportunity to erase and re-record, so be okay.
Slide it to the right.
Stumbling over your words. What'd you say?
You can slide it to the right.
And delete it?
If you don't like it, yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. I learned something new. Thought once it was out there, it was out there.
No, I mean like before you release it.
Oh. So there's scripts for everything. I mean, and we have some of the scripts from, the top 10 coaches use. So obviously, what they're saying works. But always, always, always customize it to sound like you, to come from you, and to sort of fit the exact situation that you're in.
I wouldn't say script. I would say more like guideline, idea, how to go about making a conversation flow.
Yes.
Okay. So I don't know if you guys listened to the National Wake Up Call, and I'm probably a week behind. Who was it? I don't remember. But she said to be your own success story, to be your first success story, which really hit home for me, because whenever in the beginning and even now, like really committing to what you're doing and committing to a program and being your own proof that this works is your best, what's the word?
Testimony.
Yes, thank you. Your best testimony when you're sharing with people. So I would say if you're starting out, commit to something and stick with it and share it unapologetically every day or every other day, however much you're posting, just some little tidbit regularly, and let people know like your struggles or your accomplishments or just how it's going. And I think that really makes a difference on people reaching out to you, people responding to you, knowing that you're in it with them or you're going to be in it with them and doing it with them. Even now, 2.5 years in, I get more responses when I share something that's going on with me than with another coach or another challenger, because they're going to relate to you. They want to sign up with you, they like you. So that would be a very big suggestion. I thought that just, I was listening to that when I was working out and I was like, oh my God, we've got to put that on our call. It seems so easy, but it's not the most obvious thing.
Or we might have done it when we first started as coaches.
Right.
And back away from it as your story and your journey has gone on.
Right.
But again, remember that everything you post on Facebook only goes into so many people's feeds. So even if you feel like you're posting all the time, not the same people are always going to be seeing what you're posting. And it only takes that one post or that one sort of level of connection for someone to be like, I need to see what she's doing, So definitely share and definitely be real and raw, and don't be afraid to be like, you know what? I effed up this weekend. Like, this weekend was not good. Or, holy crap, I made it through the entire weekend. I stayed on track with everything, my nutrition, my water, my fitness. Like, be proud of that, because that's not an easy feat. It's not easy to get through a weekend or a party or, a series of events and keep your nutrition on track. So you should be proud of it, because you know what? Somebody's going to be like, holy crap, if she can do it, I wonder what it is that she's doing that's helping her to stay on track. I should reach out to her and talk to her about that, because I have, 4 events coming up next weekend, and I'm totally afraid of blowing my, entire week. So it's those things that people are going to connect with that are going to make them want to come to you and learn more and understand what it is that you're doing.
Yep. Okay, so do you want to do this one?
Again? Okay. List of people. All right, so this is a little bit of homework for you, and this is not something that you're going to do just once. This is something that you're going to need to do multiple times throughout the series of your business. The first thing we want you guys to do is to create your list of 100 to 200 people that you can reach out to. I don't care if they are people you're friends with on Facebook, or if they're people that are in your warm market, or if they're people from high school that you haven't talked to in 30 years. You need to create a list of 100 to 200 people that you can, in some way, shape, or form, start connecting with. Whether you start by liking their pages I'm sorry, not liking their pages, liking their pictures, liking their posts, giving them love, reaching out to them in a private message. Just create your list, go through and create your list, and then start working your way through your list. And keep track of how you're reaching out to those people. Are you just liking a picture? Are you intimidated by actually sending them a message? So maybe you start with just liking a picture, or start with a comment on their picture and work your way into a message. But create that list of people so that it's always at your fingertips, so that you can refer back to it and work your way through it. It's such an easy way to do your power hour when you already have your list of people created, when you're not going, who am I going to reach out to today? If you have your list created, it's a really easy way to kind of work through and plow through your power hour. Obviously, your go-to list can be your friends, your family, the people that you know in real life, your hairdresser, your, the barista at the Starbucks that you go to on a daily basis that you know by name. Those types of people, like, put them on your list, because those are going to be the people who it's going to be easy for you to have a conversation with about what it is that you're doing. And then also create your chicken list, which I love the name of that. Who are the people that you want to reach out to, who you know would be amazing, either as a challenger or as a coach, but you're just intimidated by putting it out there to them. What'd you say?
Scared.
Yeah, scared.
I'm still reaching out to my chicken list. Are you kidding?
Yep. Because there's going to be a time where, and I just recently there's a girl that I'm friends with who, oh my God, she would be amazing. She loves fitness and she's super positive. And I, for weeks, kind of watched her and loved on her posts, and she loved on mine. And I finally reached out to her and I just said, I just have to tell you that I love your positivity. I love your vibe. Would you be, when we had our sneak peek last week, would you be interested in maybe learning a little bit more about what it is that I'm doing with coaching? That's all I said. I was afraid to send that email. I don't know why, because obviously she has a love for fitness. I had a feeling that she would probably shoot me down, and she did, which is fine. But I was afraid to send it, and I, just had watched a video that, sorry for my language, but said, don't be a bitch, just hit send. And I was like, okay. So I typed a message and I just hit send. And I was like, okay, I did it. But I have been wanting to do it for a couple months now, and I've been afraid to do it. So, as you work through that chicken list, and you can kind of check people off and know that you're making an attempt because you see some potential there, it feels good, and I think it helps to work up the courage to move through the chicken list a little bit faster.
So I think everybody probably saw that we both posted a challenge for April, and I'm also going to do it for May too, since I kind of got the idea a little late in April. But it's a contest that if you beat Michelle and I, whoever your coach is, in Success Club points for the month, then we're going to send you a prize. So we're going to do it for April, and we'll do it for March or May, and then maybe we'll keep doing it, because I think it's fun. It's a little friendly competition, and we can just keep a thread going in the team page of who's at what, and just ups the ante a little bit. So we'll come up with some fun prizes. And then we also thought about, since I know some of you are pushing for Diamond, and I'm also pushing for Diamond in another business center, that I was going to put it out there that if you want to race me for Diamond, then we'll do a big prize at the end. If you beat me, I'll send you something good and big and fun. And I thought it would put a little extra skin in the game for me as well. And I think Michelle wants to do that too.
Yes, I'm happy on that as well. So any of my coaches, race to diamond for one of my business centers. So you beat me, I'll send you something good.
Like real good.
Like real good.
Um,
And we can give you more information on that. So if anybody is like unclear about what that means or what that looks like or what the time frame is, we can certainly talk about that more.
And Michelle came up or asked me this morning if we wanted to do like a whole food challenge for 30 days starting in May. Do you want to elaborate on that since your idea?
Yeah. So I have been, I've personally been struggling with my nutrition. Fitness, I have no problem, but nutrition has always been a challenge for me. And next week, obviously, we're going out to Punta Cana, and I don't anticipate that I will make the best choices probably the whole time I'm there, which is okay because that's what vacation is. But we come back on May 1st, and I've been thinking about kind of the whole 30 challenge for a while, and not just for me, but sort of for my family, my husband and my son as well, kind of to clean up what is in our house and to take a look at some of the foods that can cause, inflammation in the body and stuff like that. So I had said to Sarah, do you want to do a whole 30 challenge? And she reminded me that Shakeology is not part of the whole 30. And I don't want to give that up. So we decided that maybe like just a whole foods challenge for 30 days starting on May 1st would be a really good sort of way to kind of, for me, clean things up, but then to entice people to join us and focus on eating clean and cutting out some of those artificial colors and sweeteners and just the crap that has a tendency to creep into our diets, and give us an opportunity to sort of create a supportive group that is solely focused on that. So this will be a little bit different because typically our free challenges have been, 5 or 7 days. We've typically started them around the middle of the month, but this will start on May 1st, and we will set up a separate group for this that'll be outside of our 2017 Fit and Focused group. So this will be a completely separate group. So
what's wrong? Come here. What's the matter? You're all right. You okay? You okay? I'm sorry.
So if anybody is interested in doing this for us and for all of you, so market it and invite people.
I'll be right back.
Any questions on anything that we covered tonight? That is our entire agenda, but I'm happy to go back, answer any questions, or talk about anything else that maybe has come up while we've been talking.
Well, if I could ask, is there going to be some sort of a ramp up to the 30-day Whole Food Challenge to where like people are literally going to be prepared to start the challenge on the first, or is it going to be like the first week it's going to be more about information and creating a shopping list and just understanding the things that you need to get rid of and more about education?
Yeah, that's actually a really good question. So
I think that's a good idea.
So maybe we start May 1st and use that first week as the ramp up. Clean out the pantry, create your shopping list, create your meal plan, understand, what the approved foods are.
Understand why you're cutting them out.
Right. So maybe we could take a day like to kind of cover each of those topics and then actually start the 30 days on May 8th. So instead of just 4 weeks, this would actually be 5 weeks. We'll use that first week as a ramp up and then 4 weeks of the actual challenge. Is that good?
Yeah, because I think, I mean, knowing myself, I'm actually on my 30th day today, and knowing what I needed to kind of learn ahead of time, definitely I was like, oh wait, I can't just start this. Like, I definitely had to prepare myself for meal prepping, like serious meal prepping and grocery shopping, and kind of just adjusting my mindset to, you know, not what I can't have, but what I can have, and getting my husband on board and working through it with him too. But
that's actually a really good point, you know, because so many people don't want to cook 5 different dinners and stuff. No. And and then also like how we can integrate this so that people understand that they can still do like the 21 day fix, or they can still use the food containers. It's just going to be better foods.
Right.
Cool. No, I like this.
I definitely did stick to my meal plan, but instead of all those carbs, I would do an extra fat or an extra orange container. You know what I mean? Like, it definitely can work into that, because you don't want to just stuff yourself full of meat and veggies and fruit. But at the same end, after the first week, I did not overeat. Like, there was no need to really keep track or measure, because it's hard to overeat on that stuff though. So, but yeah, working it into what we do anyway, I think is a good idea to transition people over afterward and give them an idea. But it also gives them an idea like what they're sensitive to. Are they sensitive to dairy? Are they sensitive to grains? So it's definitely a different aspect and a deeper understanding of nutrition.
I could totally see doing this on a regular basis. You know, new people come in, and this would be a great way to sort of get them to jumpstart their nutrition. Mm-hmm. I like this a lot.
Sarah, are you going to go live in Fit and Focus and talk about your 30 days?
Yeah. I wanted to finish like the complete 30 days and kind of, I could give my actual results from it. So, but mentally, it's a huge difference. I could care less what the scale says tomorrow, because of how I feel and like my clothes feel. That's all that matters. But, okay. Yeah, I will go live tomorrow or Friday about it. Okay. And then if anybody in there wants to join us too, that's a good way for them to hear about it.
Does anyone know whether or not this new April pricing for the All Access is going to continue, or is that just for April and that's it?
We don't know.
We don't know. Okay.
I assume it's just for April. They may extend it, but there's no way to know. Okay.
That's how I'm approaching it, trying to push people. Mm-hmm. Cool. Thanks.
We'll find out like the last day or two of April. Right. Okay. Anybody else have questions? You can unmute yourself. Are you trying to unmute yourself? There you go.
No, I know.
Anybody?
That's it.
All right.
Cool. I know Sarah will, but I will also share tonight's agenda in our team pages, because it does have the information about the apps and stuff, and the link to the follow-up strategies for the not right nows. So if you have any questions as you look through that, definitely let your coach know, and we can point you in the right direction.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Thank you, guys.
We'll see you soon.
Bye.
Bye. Have fun on your trip.
Thanks. We will.
Sure, you guys will see you next week.
We do. Oh, Sarah jumped off, but we do. I can't tell who's jumping off. We do have our sneak peek next week. We're doing I don't know if you guys saw the calendar, but we're doing a 3-day sneak peek, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. And then Michelle and I were going to go live in it from Punta Cana together on Thursday to kind of like show people what is possible and how much fun this could be and that they could be there with us next year type of thing, or the following year. So definitely keep that in mind if you're talking to people about coaching, that you can add them into that sneak peek come Monday.
Yeah.
So.
Sounds good.
All right.
Thanks, guys. Have a good night. Thanks for joining tonight.
Thanks.
Yes, thanks, guys.
See you guys.
Bye.
Bye.